The team has changed for the worse. They completely shut down the content project. It's like a disguised suicide. An iPhone among spaces for pregnancy and motherhood. We did interviews, professional interviews. It still hurts me to this day. One of the most painful, if not the most painful team failures I've ever encountered. It still hurts me to this day. This is a team failure where they shut down an entire content project simply because they didn't understand what was going on, what it was, or what the result of that work was. So our team was doing content marketing for an online store specializing in pregnancy and maternity products. The specifics of the online store. In a situation of this particular kind, it is essential that you provide a lot of very detailed explanations for the entire extensive range of these products, because there are strollers, there are diapers, there is clothing, there is footwear, there are products for the maternity hospital, and there are products for development. Moreover, this project, its complexity lay in the fact that it was not just an online store, but there was also an early childhood development center for children up to 6 years old. And there was also a clinic, a pediatric, purely pediatric clinic. So it was a 3-in-1 project. An iPhone among, so to speak, spaces for products for pregnancy and motherhood. So 3-in-1. Here you have a store, here you have an online store, actually even 4-in-1. That is a marketplace, a platform for development and for pediatrics. So everything in one. And then within just a single year, we successfully managed to release about 100 very interesting and informative materials about all of the different products, all the various services, and the dedicated people involved. In addition to that, we also carefully put together comprehensive checklists for the maternity hospital. For example, I can recall that even when we interviewed people who are knowledgeable about strollers, we created materials on which stroller to choose for the cold season if the child is born during the cold time of year, and for the warm season, for instance. How to choose clothing for a baby depending on the weather. So a ton of interviews. The challenge of the project was that we selected authors, we conducted interviews, professional interviews, among a large number of experts on this team. There were about 10 of them over the course of a year. You can imagine the scale of the project. As a direct consequence of these actions, it was observed that the overall conversion rate and efficiency for individual product purchases from the content platform was 4 times higher than from the online store. In other words, if a person came to the online store, the conversion rate was about 1.5 to 2%. From the content platform, it reached 6 to 8%. In other words, after reading and following the link to the online store, people made purchases more often. So this project did deliver results, but the team on the project changed, and we couldn't influence that. The team changed for the worse because people who didn't understand the work came in. They didn't have experience with such large-scale projects. This is to say that you need to pay attention to the experience of the team and the experience of individual marketers. Have they worked on similar projects before? And they hadn't worked on such projects. So what did they do? What exactly was the cringeworthy part? Here I talked a bit more about complex content marketing in challenging topics than about the cringe, but the cringe was definitely there. The thing is, they put the project on pause for a while to sort things out. Well, they sorted it out so well that after a few months they decided to redo the website. And while redoing the website, they completely wiped out the content project. Now it only exists in memory in the cache, Google, and that's it. So they completely deleted this content project, and we don't even have any references left that we could show to people who might be interested. The main thing isn't even how they handled their project. The main thing is they didn't leave us any references. Fine, if they decided to go through with such an unfortunate self-sabotage, but they didn't even leave us any references. And this cringe really hurts me because we put in so much effort, and the results were the work of both our agency and a team of experts. After something like this, you really need to take a break because this is such heavy cringe. But if you truly want to work without any cringe and actually achieve consistently high results, especially in those very complex niches where effective marketing requires a highly specialized approach, then that is exactly where the digital marketing, our web agency, comes in. We would like to say welcome.